All right, welcome back. We appreciate you joining us. Once again, we're trying every means to get a hold of you, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it takes, we're trying. Joining me now is Mike Sobert, the general manager of our Waterworks here in Terrebonne Parish. And Mike, good to have you here. We appreciate it.
Nice to be here. Thank you, Martin. I can tell you it's a lot safer driving a Waterworks car now, since most people got water than before. I called my friend in Lafourche. I said, man, let's swap cars. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, it's going to get kind of hot if I don't get some water.
Right.
So, but we're doing good. We're much better now than we were before.
Let me ask you, because I think a lot of people don't understand the dynamic of how the water gets to them. And when you have main breaks, it's problematic, isn't it?
Right, yeah. Well, and again, you have to realize that our system is in excess of 1,000 miles of pipe. And so we're really no different than any utility company or electric or whatever. We have two treatment plants, one in Houma, a water plant on Munson Drive. We have one in Shreva on Water Plant Drive. So that's where we make the bulk of the water. Actually, virtually almost flawless. We didn't have any problems. The opportunities that we had there, we overcame. We have the capability to do about 22, 23 million gallons a day, and that went fine. The problem is I have it all either in Water Plant Drive or on Munson Drive. Now I have to get it to where all the people are. So that's where the problem becomes. Lost a couple of big main transmission lines to us that carry the big water into the smaller water, into the subdivision. We've been able to work around those, valve them off, and redirect the water. And I think they told me this afternoon, probably at 2 o'clock, pressure in front of Terrebonne General, which is served by our Shreva plant, is in excess of 52 pounds. Okay. So that's good. That will get water all the way to the top of their building, same way government top.
So what's a normal house, 30 pounds?
30, 35 pounds.
Yeah, 30 pounds.
Yeah.
What areas right now, Mike, are currently still without water that?
We made the decision, for example, in Dulac, we lost our 300,000 gallon tank at South Dulac, right at the end of the road, gone. We saw that during the hurricane when we went from 2-3 million gallon flow to 7-8 million gallon trying to fill the void. Well, of course, you can't. It's an open pipe. So basically what we did, we turned off the valve to Dularge. Quentin, our fire chief down there, said, Mike, you can't even get in, so there's no need. Turn that off. We turned Dulac off. We turned Little Kai off. Had some really big cocodrie in those areas, took a big hit. All of that's gone. Same way with Montague, Pointe-a-Shanberg. Last night into today, we just opened the valves in East Houma, so everyone, hopefully including our office, will be getting sufficient water and pressure to try and start getting back to normal. So the bayous from Presque Isle going down, Dulac and Dularge, no water.
Okay.
Now, tomorrow, if we can make East Houma whole, tomorrow we'll start opening it up, kind of starting to work our way down.
And I know you've heard this question 1,000 times, and I know the answer, but when do you think y'all will have it restored everywhere?
Well,
it's probably on a fluid scale, I would think.
Yeah, no pun intended. Thank you.
Yeah.
Some will be sooner than others, Martin, and what we'll probably try and do is just concentrate on one bayou until we get either to the point of where, well, wait a second, this is way too much for us right now. We'll stop it there, put a valve in, stop, at least those people will have it. But again, if parts of the lower parts of the parish are really wiped out, it's going to be a while before we can get there.
Is it the mains that connect those bayous, or is like, I guess a water tower is a perfect example of you have systematic, isolated ways to get these bayous water, but if one of them's down or fell down or was damaged, can you bring in big tanks with pumps?
Well, you can, but again, I mean,
how do you get them?
Yeah, and it's, water is 62.4 pounds a cubic foot, 7.48 pounds per gallon.
And
when you start talking at like South Terrebonne Standpipe, 3 million gallons of water. I mean, that's going to 3 times 21 million pounds of
That's like shooting
water.
An elephant with a BB gun.
That's about it. That's about it.
Because people were asking me about the tanks. I said, I'll ask, but
yeah, and basically the tank is there actually to keep pressure up. As you know, the whole parish continues to be on a boil water advisory.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because, like, when the Dulac tank fell, we couldn't keep the pressure up. And the whole principle behind that is, as long as I've got 20 pounds of pressure of water in the tank, even in a lake, I'm always pushing out.
Mm-hmm.
But if I drop below that, a 2-story building, and you have a problem, a mortuary or something like that, kidney dialysis, hair salons, could possibly push the water back into the system, and now you got a problem. Now you got a real problem.
Yeah.
And so we do it out of an abundance of caution and care. And while everything that has water now is above that 20, just give me a little bit more day and time. We'll come in, start taking samples, and we'll start taking.
And I guess the most honest and real way to tell people is, if you're using that water, don't drink it. Be careful brushing your teeth, because it might have things in it you don't particularly care
and
for.
that is correct. Yeah, I mean, E. coli is not a good thing to have.
Right.
That's not what you want to take. So if you just think of anything that you're going to put in your mouth or in your body, then it should be boiled.
Right.
But you want to take a bath, knock yourself out. You want to wash clothes, wash the house, wash off the sidewalk, you don't need any of that stuff.
Just the internal stuff
That's exactly
will
right.
get you. Needless to say, I know you were talking about valves when you get to the bayous and all, but so how many valves do you think are in the parish, and how many of them are open, how many are closed?
Well, there's actually in excess of 25,000 valves. We have more than 8,000 hydrants, like I said, more than 1,000 miles of pipe. What's supposed to be and what is what actually gives us the most trouble, because some of our problems, even the last few days, have been, oh, no, that valve's closed. Well, it can't be. Well, yeah, it's closed. Well, it go out there and it's not. So that's kind of the thing. One of the big concerns we have, and it comes around every time, unfortunately, we have debris on the side of the road. And you can't blame the debris people, but I would ask our customers, if you're putting out your leaves and trim, keep them away from the fire department, our hydrants, man. Because those guys are in a bucket truck covered with trees. They can't see. They don't know what's there. And when they pick, they rip it up, and I got to tell you, no more water.
That is
Here
true.
we go, start all over again, you know.
Well, that's
so
a
if you
good
just
point.
kind of keep it away from that, everybody will be happy. A fireman can get to your house if a house fire if there's a problem, but they can't if it gets pulled out. So.
Oh, you're right. That's a great point, too. I
No,
never
yeah,
really thought
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
People pile up the debris, and the bobcat hits it.
That's right.
Boom.
That's right.
We out of it.
We've been very fortunate over the years that we've actually pretty much GPSed all our valves, all our meter boxes. So when you go to look for that big oak tree that used to be next to Coco Marina and it's not there, we just take out the old satellite and find out exactly where it is and go right on it.
We're good.
So
And Mike,
technology.
I want to thank. I know it's tough times, and you guys are in charge of utilities. When everything's going right every day, nobody ever comes and puts a crown on you. When something happens, they want it tomorrow. But I want to thank you, because I know how much you've been working, and thank you for what you do, and keep on doing it.
Yep,
and
yep.
Sooner or later,
we're
we'll
very
get it.
fortunate. We have a little over 100 employees. A lot of them work 24/7. We never close. Hurricanes or not, we never close. We keep trying to always keep pressure and residual on that water. You know, it just depends. If you like the taste of chlorine, that's one thing. If you don't like it, but it's there, I promise you won't get sick.
Yeah. I love the taste of chlorine right now.
That's right. That's good. That's a good thing.
Mike, thank you for coming.
Always a
We
pleasure,
appreciate it.
Mr. Martin. Thank you for
All
the
right.
invite.
All
Thank
right,
you,
there you
sir.
have it. Mike Sobert giving us the straight on the water. We'll have a lot more. Also, later on, we'll have the president in Lafourche Parish meeting with both the Lafourche Parish president and the Terrebonne Parish president. We'll be back.